Late July. Most gardeners look at their garden and think the season is basically over. The spring planting rush is long gone. Maybe a few things bolted. Maybe the heat took out more than you expected. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you're already telling yourself, I'll do better next year. But here's what experienced gardeners know that most beginners don't find out until their third or fourth season. Late July isn't the end of your gardening year. For a lot of crops, it's actually one of the best times to start. And the gardeners who figure that out, they're harvesting fresh food all the way into November, sometimes longer, while everyone else has already packed it in. Today I'm going to walk you through 11 vegetables you can still start right now in late July and actually expect a real harvest from. Not just technically possible, actually worth doing. If you enjoy practical gardening content that helps you grow more while doing less, subscribe, because that's exactly the kind of advice we share here at Serene Green Gardens. Now, let's get into it. Number 1, kale. If you've ever grown kale in spring and watched it turn bitter and tough the moment summer heat arrived, this is going to change how you think about this plant entirely. Kale is not a summer vegetable. It never really was. It's a cold season crop pretending to be a year-round one. And when you plant in late July for a fall harvest, you get a completely different and honestly much better experience. Here's what most people don't realize. Kale actually gets sweeter after a frost hits it. The cold converts the starches in the leaves to sugars. That's not gardening folklore. That's plant biology. A kale leaf harvested in October after a couple of light frosts is genuinely more flavorful than anything you'd grow in May. Direct sow kale now, about a 1/4 inch deep and thin to 12 inches apart once seedlings are established. It grows fast in warm soil. You'll see germination in 5 to 7 days, and it slows gracefully as temperatures drop through fall. Varieties like Lacy Nato, also called dinosaur kale, and Red Russian are excellent for fall planting. Both are cold hardy into the upper 20s with minimal protection. The benefit here isn't just fresh greens. It's low maintenance, fresh greens. Fewer pests in fall, less watering as temperatures cool, and a plant that actually improves the longer it stays in your garden. Number 2, spinach. Spinach is one of those crops that sounds simple but trips up a lot of gardeners because of one timing mistake. They plant it in spring, the days get long, and it bolts before they've barely harvested anything. Fall planting eliminates that problem almost entirely. Spinach needs shortening days and cooling temperatures to thrive, and that's exactly what it gets when you start it in late July heading into August. You're working with the plant's natural rhythm instead of fighting against it. Sow seeds directly about 1/2 inch deep, spacing plants about 6 inches apart. In warm late July soil, spinach germinates quickly, sometimes in as little as 5 days. You'll be harvesting baby leaves in as few as 30 days and full-sized leaves in about 40 to 50. Here's the part that surprises most gardeners. Spinach can handle light frosts without any protection at all. With a simple row cover, which costs almost nothing, you can push spinach harvest well into November, even in Zone 6. In Zones 7 and warmer, it can overwinter and give you an incredibly early spring harvest too. Imagine stepping outside in late October and cutting a bowl of fresh spinach for dinner. That's not a stretch. That's genuinely what a late July planting can give you. Number 3, bush beans. Now, this one might surprise you, and it's important, so stay with me here. Bush beans are usually thought of as a spring and early summer crop, and most gardeners stop planting them by late June, assuming the window is closed. But in most of the U.S., you still have time for one more succession planting in late July, and that last planting often produces beautifully because the worst of the summer heat starts breaking right when the plants are developing pods. Bush beans go from seed to harvest in about 50 to 60 days. If you're in Zone 5 or warmer and your first frost is mid-September or later, which covers most of the country, you have a viable window right now. Direct sow about 1 inch deep, spacing seeds 4 to 6 inches apart in rows. Don't bother transplanting beans, they don't love it. Just put the seeds in the ground. What you'll notice with a late planting is that bean beetles and aphids, which can be brutal in early summer, are much less of a problem heading into fall. The pest pressure drops significantly. You're growing in cleaner conditions with less intervention required. Varieties like Provider and Contender are especially reliable for late-season planting because of their adaptability to variable conditions. A late July planting of bush beans is genuinely one of the easier wins available to you right now. Number 4. Radishes. Here's the crop that never gets the respect it deserves. Radishes are ready to harvest in as little as 25 days. 25 days. No other vegetable on this list moves faster. If you're someone who gets impatient waiting for results, and honestly, most of us do, radishes are the instant gratification of the vegetable garden. But here's where it gets more interesting than most people realize. Radishes planted in fall are fundamentally different from spring radishes. Spring radishes rush to bolt in warming weather. Fall radishes take their time, developing more evenly, staying crisp longer, and building better flavor. Daikon radishes, the long white Asian variety, are especially worth growing in fall. They can handle a surprising amount of cold, and they're one of the best vegetables you can grow for improving your soil. As the root develops and is later pulled or tilled in, it breaks up compaction and adds organic matter. Gardeners who grow daikon as a cover crop see real improvement in soil structure the following season. Sow radish seeds a 1/4 inch deep, 1/2 inch apart, and thin to 2 inches once sprouted. They need very little care. Water consistently during germination, and they'll largely take care of themselves. Plant a short row every 2 weeks through August, and you'll have a continuous radish harvest running through early fall. Easy, fast, and genuinely useful. Number 5. Lettuce. If you gave up on lettuce after it bolted in June, I completely understand. Summer lettuce is a frustrating experience. It goes bitter almost overnight, sends up a flower stalk, and suddenly the plant you were enjoying is basically inedible. Fall lettuce is a completely different story. Lettuce planted in late July grows into cooling temperatures, and cooling temperatures are exactly what it needs. The flavor stays mild. It doesn't bolt. You can harvest outer leaves continuously for weeks, sometimes months, without the plant giving up on you. Start lettuce indoors in late July if your temperatures are still consistently above 90 degrees, and transplant out in about 3 weeks when conditions moderate slightly. Or direct sow in a spot with afternoon shade to protect young seedlings from the harshest late summer heat. Loose-leaf varieties like black-seeded Simpson and oak leaf are forgiving and fast. Romaine types like Paris Island Cos are excellent fall performers and hold up better to light frost than loose-leaf types. You know what's especially satisfying about fall lettuce? It grows slowly and steadily without demanding much from you. You check on it, you water when the soil dries out, and week after week it just quietly gets bigger. That's the kind of gardening that actually feels enjoyable. But here's where things get really interesting. And this next section is where most gardeners leave serious food on the table. We're about halfway through this list, and the vegetables coming up are the ones that are genuinely underused in late summer planting. A lot of gardeners know about kale and lettuce. What I'm about to cover is where the real opportunity is. Number 6. Turnips. Most people think of turnips as old-fashioned food, and maybe that's why they overlook them, because that's a mistake. Turnips are one of the fastest maturing root vegetables you can grow. Most varieties are ready in 45 to 60 days. They're cold tolerant, largely pest resistant in fall, and genuinely versatile in the kitchen. You can eat both the root and the greens. Here's the part nobody really talks about. Turnips planted in late July and harvested after the first light frost have noticeably sweeter flavor than summer-grown turnips. That same cold convert starch to sugar mechanism that works on kale, it works on turnips too. Sow directly, a 1/4 inch deep, thinning to 4 to 6 inches once established. They need consistent moisture early on, but once they're established, they're low maintenance. Purple top white globe is the classic variety. Hakurei is a Japanese salad turnip, smaller, milder, and absolutely excellent eaten raw. If you've written off turnips before, a fall planting is worth reconsidering. The flavor profile is genuinely different from what most people expect. Number 7. Beets. Beets get overlooked for fall planting because people assume they take too long. And yes, beets can take 50 to 70 days to full maturity. But in late July, with most of the country still 8 to 12 weeks from first frost, that window is absolutely workable. And there's a hidden advantage that most gardeners don't think about. Beet greens are harvestable much earlier, in about 30 days, and they're legitimately delicious. You don't have to wait for the full root to get value from this planting. Soak beet seeds in water for a few hours before planting to improve germination. Sow about ½ inch deep and thin to 3 to 4 inches once seedlings emerge. Beets are one of the few vegetables that actually prefer slightly alkaline soil. So if you have a bed that tends to run neutral to slightly alkaline, that's your spot. Detroit Dark Red is a reliable all-around variety. Kyaja, the candy-striped beet, is stunning and milder in flavor. Golden beets are sweet and earthy without the staining intensity of red varieties. One more thing most people don't realize, beets can handle frost down to about 28 degrees without significant damage. A late July planting gives you real flexibility in when you harvest. Number 8, carrots. Here's one where timing really matters, and most gardeners get it slightly wrong. Carrots planted in late July need to be in the ground no later than early August for reliable fall maturation in most zones. They're slower, 70 to 80 days typically, so this one requires you to move quickly if you want to include it in your fall plan. But fall carrots are worth the effort. Cold temperatures after maturity dramatically improve carrot sweetness. Carrots that have sat in the ground through a few light frosts are genuinely candy sweet in a way that spring carrots rarely achieve. Carrot germination is the trickiest part. The seeds are tiny, slow to germinate in dry conditions, and need consistent moisture for the first week or two. Cover your seeded area with a thin board or burlap to retain moisture, and check daily. The moment you see sprouts, remove the cover immediately. Raised beds are ideal for carrots because you can control soil texture. Rocky or compacted native soil leads to forked, stunted roots. If you're working in a raised bed with loose amended soil, Nantes and Danvers varieties are excellent. For native soil with some clay, try Chennai types, shorter and more tolerant of heavier conditions. The payoff is real. Fresh carrots pulled from your own garden in October, eaten practically right out of the ground. That's a gardening experience worth working toward. Number 9, Swiss chard. Swiss chard doesn't get talked about nearly enough in fall gardening content, and that's honestly baffling because it is one of the most productive, low-maintenance vegetables you can grow in this window. Here's what makes it special. Chard is a cut-and-come-again plant. You harvest outer stalks, and the center keeps producing. One planting can give you continuous harvest for months. And unlike spinach or lettuce, chard tolerates a wider temperature range. It handles both lingering summer heat and early fall chill without missing a beat. Sow seeds ½ inch deep, thinning plants to about 6 inches apart. Germination is fast in warm soil, usually 5 to 7 days. Varieties like Bright Lights offer a visual appeal that's actually striking in a garden. Red, yellow, orange, and white stems together look genuinely beautiful while also being productive. If you have growing kids at home, chard is one of those plants that makes gardening feel rewarding to younger eyes. The color alone gets people excited about it. Chard also handles light frosts well and can be protected easily with row cover to extend well into November. It's genuinely one of the best low-effort, high-output choices for a late July start. Number 10, peas. This one surprises people every time. Most gardeners think of peas as strictly a spring crop, and in most of the U.S. they are. But in zones 7 through 9, late July to early August is actually the right time to start a fall pea crop. The math works like this. Peas need about 60 to 70 days, and they prefer to mature in cool weather. If you're in a warmer zone with a first frost in November or December, a late July planting lands you right in that sweet spot. If you're in zones 5 or 6, this one's a harder stretch. Be realistic about your frost date. But for gardeners in the Mid-Atlantic, the Southeast, the Pacific Coast, or the Southwest, this is a real opportunity. Sugar snap varieties like Sugar Snap and Super Sugar Snap are excellent for fall planting. Snow peas tend to be a bit faster and are worth considering if your window is slightly tight. Fresh peas picked right off the vine, There's almost nothing in the vegetable garden that tastes as good eaten immediately. That's not an exaggeration. Peas lose their sweetness within hours of harvest as sugars convert to starch. Growing your own is genuinely one of those experiences you can't replicate at a grocery store. Number 11, broccoli. And this is the one that might be the most valuable on the entire list. Broccoli is honestly easier to grow in fall than in spring, and most gardeners don't know that because they've only ever tried in spring. In spring, you're racing against warming temperatures. Broccoli that matures in heat produces small, loose, bitter heads. In fall, broccoli matures into cooling weather, and the result is dense, sweet, beautiful heads. Start broccoli transplants now, indoors or in a shaded outdoor space, and plan to set them out in about 3 to 4 weeks when temperatures begin to moderate. You need about 90 days from transplant to harvest for most varieties. So late July transplant starts are well timed for a late October through November harvest in most of the U.S. The variety matters here. Belstar is an outstanding fall variety. Reliable head formation and excellent side shoot production after the main head is cut. Marathon is another strong performer with excellent cold tolerance. Broccoli is also a nutrient-heavy feeder, so if you're refreshing a bed that had summer crops in it, this is the moment to work in some compost and a slow-release balanced fertilizer before transplanting. The investment in soil prep pays off directly in head size and density. When you cut that first head of fall broccoli, dense, tight, deep green, slightly sweet, and you know you grew it yourself heading into the colder months, that's a genuinely satisfying feeling. It's the kind of harvest that makes you want to plan even bigger for next year. And that's your list. 11 vegetables you can start right now, in late July, and realistically expect to harvest before your season closes. Kale, spinach, bush beans, radishes, lettuce, turnips, beets, carrots, Swiss chard, peas, and broccoli. Every single one of them worth planting. Every one of them capable of producing in your fall window. Here's what I want you to take away from this. The gardeners who get the most from their space aren't the ones with the best soil or the most time. They're the ones who understand how to keep their garden working throughout the full season. Fall planting isn't a consolation prize. It's a strategy. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these you're planning to start this week. And if you want to know how to prep your beds quickly for a fall planting without starting from scratch, that video is right here. It walks you through exactly how to refresh tired summer beds and get them ready for everything you just heard about today. Happy planting!